This video is going to be a little bit different because I don't usually or pretty much ever talk about drama content on YouTube because it's just not what I do. I like talking about tech and things that I'm into, and recently on YouTube we've had a little bit of drama involving a tech channel and something that I am quite familiar with and have had a lot of experience dealing with, which is YouTube's broken copyright system. And so today I want to talk about that, and just for my own safety, because I'm a small channel that this YouTube creator tends to like to go after, I'm not going to use any of their clips. This is going to be a short video just talking about my opinions, and that is it. So we're going to dive into the drama of a tech YouTuber of some kind going after other creators by abusing the copyright system. So let's just break this down right out of the gate. So recently there was some drama with the Internet Anarchist, a YouTuber who makes really good video essays that I actually watch quite a lot. And he made a video recently talking about a tech YouTuber who has been known for some less than ideal practices here on the platform. Not specifically the ones that he partook in with this most recent drama, but he talked about some of the things that CoffeeZilla did that exposed a lot of scams and other not so great things. And so because the Internet Anarchist made this video, the YouTuber who this video was made about struck down the video, like actually filed a copyright strike. Now, I am very familiar with copyright strikes. I've dealt with them a lot. For those of you who don't know about the past of this channel, I used to be a reaction channel. I know, cringe, and it wasn't even the good kind of reaction where you pause and comment. It was just watching shows with people. It was bad. I've gone past it now. Let's just move on. And to nobody's surprise, because that was the content I made at the time, I ended up dealing with a lot of copyright issues. And those copyright issues usually entailed strikes because creators of content like TV shows aren't the biggest fan of you just sitting and watching their entire content on the platform. I have since learned my lesson, but I am very familiar because of that with YouTube's copyright system and how it can work, but also how it can be abused. So what this YouTuber did was falsely file a copyright strike. Now, the copyright strikes I dealt with were valid, but they were also handled by a very professional company where they put the strikes on my channel, literally to the point where if the strikes remained, I would have lost this channel, and they reached out to me. And I was able to speak with them, negotiate with them, remove the content, and get those strikes removed. The Internet Anarchist, on the other hand, got a strike that had no grounds to exist. It was an abusive strike because the content that the Internet Anarchist made was 100% fair use. Now, what is fair use? Well, fair use is when you are creating content, using content in pieces from another creator or another source of media. So, for example, I run a music channel, and in that music channel, I still do reaction videos. I promise they're not as cringe, but I do reaction videos where I will watch a performance of a drummer or a musician of any kind, and I will pause and analyze and break down sections of the performance to try and educate people who are watching, because if you don't know, I used to play drums professionally, and I know what I'm talking about when it comes to drumming, and so I want to kind of teach people what is happening throughout the song. I am taking a piece of content and I am adding to it. It is additive or transformative content. That is fair use. You can take content and basically give your own takes on it and modify and transform it into something that is your own work featuring other content. What isn't fair use is just sitting down and watching an entire video from start to finish with no pauses, like I used to do, and, well, like people still make millions doing, like Hassan Abi. Anyway, the point is, the content that the Internet Anarchist made was completely fair use. He was taking segments of videos featuring this YouTuber and commenting about it and using those pieces of content to give context to what was being said in the video. That is totally fine and does not at all validate a copyright strike. Now, here on YouTube, there is also something called a copyright claim, which is different from a strike. A strike is a very negative effect on your channel because if you get 3 of them, your channel gets terminated, it takes the video down or just kills it in the algorithm, and there's a lot of other problems with getting a strike. A claim, on the other hand, doesn't do those things. What a claim does is it says, hey, we got a section of your video that matches something else that they want to either share revenue with you, or all the revenue goes to them, or it blocks them in certain countries, or in the worst case, or the most extreme case, it's going to block the entire video until you either dispute that or you end up removing it from the video or whatever. The difference though is that it doesn't permanently affect your channel, or it doesn't put a strike on the channel. It just notifies you of a specific video, and you can dispute it, you can cut it out, you can mute it if it's audio. You've got more options. A strike is like the nuclear option. You choose a strike, you are taking that video down, you are hitting the channel hard, and you are also opening up something that this other YouTuber specifically said that they do, which is also directly in violation of YouTube ToS. And I'm pretty sure part of it is illegal, but I don't want to say that for certain just because I don't want to get in deeper than I already am. But here's what they did. So we've established that the Internet Anarchist video got struck by this other YouTube channel. But one of the things that you can do to dispute this, if you know you're in the right, which if you make a video that is fully transformative and just a video essay talking about somebody, it is fully transformative, you are in the right, you can dispute this strike. But to dispute this strike, YouTube requires that you provide your information to the person who filed the strike. So basically what this means is that by filing a false copyright strike to the Internet Anarchist's video, this content creator can now get, if the Internet Anarchist chose to dispute this, all of their personal information, all of the Internet Anarchist's personal information. And that is really, really screwed up and really dangerous, because you are basically filing a false claim to get personal information from somebody in order to basically hold over their head that you have all of their personal information, their address, their full name, all of that, because that's what you have to enter when you file a dispute for a strike. Either that or you end up having to take them to court. Those are your two options. And taking somebody to court is very expensive, it's very time consuming, it's very stressful. Whereas providing somebody with all of your personal information is pretty much just as stressful. It's just not as time consuming and potentially not as financially ruinous. However, this person now has all your information and can dox you. And so, by the way, just for my own safety, if this YouTuber, who I haven't named, haven't shown any pictures of, haven't used any content of, and have only alluded to, if you think this is you and you try to strike this video and you want to get my personal information, then I may or may not refer you to a short video on my channel where I disposed of a MacBook in a way that sort of leverages my Second Amendment right, or in more obvious but still not obvious enough that YouTube will get mad terms, dox me at your own risk. But all of those totally not threats aside, this is a big problem for the YouTube platform, because this YouTuber filed a copyright strike to gain the personal information of another content creator who is otherwise anonymous in order to be able to lord that information over their head just in case this person wanted to talk smack again. He literally filed a copyright strike because his fifis were hurt. And that's how easy it is to abuse this system. You can abuse the system because your feelings got hurt and get, if the person who you struck decides to actually file a dispute, get all of this personal information. And then you just have it to dox them or threaten to dox them. And I'm not just making this up, because this is actually what this content creator went on video saying. I'm not kidding. They actually made a video on their YouTube channel doing basically a victory lap, talking about how they abused the system, which violates YouTube's ToS very obviously, and YouTube does not take that stuff lying down. They have done horrible things to content abusers, copyright abusers. They have done horrible things financially to people who abuse the copyright system. And they've taken channels down for violations of ToS. All of those things, you basically picked all of those things to do at once and then made a video showing off that you did it. And this YouTuber called it a hazing ritual. And that, oh, he's not really going to do anything. He just wants them to know who's really in charge here and who owns the content. Which, by the way, if you're posting to a social media platform, I don't care if somebody says that it's a business, because yes, if you're making videos on YouTube and making money from them, or potentially even making an entire living off of them, it is technically a business. But YouTube is a weird middle ground where you are technically a contractor for YouTube, but YouTube is also a social media platform that allows for community building, content creation, all of this stuff. So you can't treat it like a traditional business. And so for this content creator to say that he wants to know who this person is. You can't hide behind anonymity because you're making videos. I want to know who this person is, and I want to let them know who's in charge here. That is some of the biggest, dumbest bullshit I have ever heard. You can't do that. You literally can't. People here on YouTube can remain anonymous if they so choose to. Look at Nux Taku. Look at these creators who have made massive channels and never revealed their faces. It's a doable thing, and you can't just say, well, this is business, so get over it. Fortunately, though, this drama does have a happy ending because the internet anarchists, from everything I could tell, got the strike removed from their channel without having to provide their personal information to this cyberbully, basically. But putting all of that aside, putting aside the fact that the internet anarchist won, putting aside the fact that this person literally made an entire video showing off the fact that they were abusing the copyright system and treating it like hazing and saying that they are actually using the copyright system to get people's information. Putting all of that aside, there's a bigger issue here, which is just the fact that YouTube's copyright content or copyright filter and copyright abuse system, just the copyright system on YouTube in general is still broken. Honestly, though, we all know the YouTube copyright system is broken. Bungie even dealt with something like this not too long ago where somebody was claiming videos on their behalf, basically saying, oh yeah, we're Bungie, we're going to claim these videos. And it got to the point where YouTube creators were calling out Bungie for taking videos down, and it was affecting Bungie's overall perception in the community, which, I mean, Bungie doesn't really need a lot of help with their perception in the community because, I mean, it's not great, but that didn't help. And they took this dude to court and eviscerated him. But it shouldn't have been able to happen in the first place. There should have been checks and balances put in place so that somebody actually has to provide proof that they are tied in some way to an official YouTube channel, or that they are tied to the business in general. There has to be something like that. Now, that wouldn't fix this problem because this problem only happened because the content creator in question claimed a video, the entire video, and put a strike on it because his face was featured. But let's put it this way. If a content creator goes after another channel, and that channel claims that they're in the right, the channel that got the strike, they claim they're in the right, they file a dispute, and then this other creator who filed the strike to begin with then just says, no, I'm not going to take you to court. I'm not going to bother with it. It's not worth my time. Even though it was serious enough to put a strike on the channel, that strike should be moved to the content creator who filed the strike originally. Because if you're going to file a copyright strike and you're not going to give any sort of exchange back and forth to the person you struck, you're just going to say, oh, I'm going to strike you because you made this video featuring me, and then when the person actually decides to turn around and bare their fangs and fight back, you just go, nope, nah, I'm good. Why'd you do it then? Could it be that you just didn't like the fact that the person was saying something that you didn't agree with or you didn't like? That seems to be the case. And in the case that that is why you filed the strike, that is content abuse. That is copyright abuse, not content abuse, copyright abuse. And when you partake in copyright abuse, you are literally breaking YouTube's ToS. Some people would say that you should probably have your channel terminated for that, and in the case of this content creator, who is the one I'm not naming like Voldemort, I think that their channel should be terminated because this isn't the first scam, isn't the first abuse case that they've been a part of. But for anybody else where this is something that may be an idea that crosses their mind, yeah, they should probably have the strike moved from the person they struck to them. And for longtime abusers like this YouTuber I'm talking about, who has basically been scamming and doing this shit for 5 years, yeah, you should take their channel down. Just remove them from the platform. And I don't like the idea of deplatforming people unless it is a practice that has been going on for a while. And I think 5 years justifies or qualifies as doing it for a while. Either way, this was a video I wanted to make because I am extremely passionate about the copyright system here on YouTube. I hate seeing it abused. I hate the fact that people can still abuse it to this day. That all just pisses me off. And again, I don't like doing drama on this channel. This is going to be a very rare thing. I'm not going to do drama commentary, but yeah, YouTube really needs to fix their shit when it comes to the copyright system. The abuse that this YouTuber partook in that affected the internet anarchist who in every right made a fair use video should have never happened. This should have never even been an option but the fact that it was is kind of gross and really just the worst. So fortunately, like I said, we got a happy ending with this one. The Internet Anarchists video was, I believe, reinstated, but I do know at least for a fact that they got the strike removed from their channel. I was following this closely enough to see that. And yeah, again, YouTube just needs to fix their shit. This content creator who has been doing these false strikes and then put a video up actively saying, hey, I'm doing this as a hazing ritual to get people's information so I know who they are, take them off the platform. Please take them off the platform. And if they come after this video to get my information, well, as I said before, dox me at your own risk. Again, not a threat, just letting you know that I am willing to protect myself. And aside from that, thank you all for watching. Please let me know what you all think about this down in the comments below. Again, I'm not going to be going in deep with commentary. This is just something I really wanted to talk about because the more I sort of looked at what was happening, and then especially when the video came out of him doing victory laps about abusing ToS and copyright, I had to say something about it. So again, hopefully you enjoyed. Leave some comments down below letting me know what you all think. Should he be deplatformed? Should YouTube fix their shit? Any of that stuff. And of course, thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Make sure to be there, and have a good one.